Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Island Church Weekly Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Lombardi, joined as always by Pastor Will McRaney. Pastor Will, how you doing today?
Good morning to you, Matt. It's a good day. A good day in the neighborhood here.
Absolutely.
It's some beautiful days, and won't be long. We probably need some rain, but as a former baseball player, rain only could mean possible rain out for a baseball game. But since the Rays play inside the dome, that's not going to happen.
Never an issue there. Well, it is more. I got my coffee. We're ready to go. Why don't you give us a quick rundown? How was this past week at Island Church?
It was good. We had a 9:30 gathering that we typically have, and then we had our 10 o'clock worship service. And so that was good to have that one service together. Everybody's together to have a chance to communicate with one another. And then, but I had developed a little eye infection, which I got a little bit of left over now. And but the doctor said, "Hey, after 24 hours, you're not going to be contagious based on the medication you put me on and stuff." So I said, I told everyone, I said, "Great to see you guys, and I'm gonna do my best with one eye preaching." So I gave them my good eye last week. It was a good service. I didn't engage people as much just because of that, but it was a good service and good feedback in terms of the worship time together as we sung, and then bringing God's word. That was good. A lot of good affirmation again this past week in the message, and so anyway, just good. It's good.
Good Sunday overall. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's happening coming up in the next few weeks at Island Church that folks need to know about?
Well, since we had Memorial Day, I guess we're now officially into summer, and our summer schedule is beginning. We had already begun the 9:30 gatherings, and then this next week on June the 5th, we're going to begin our the meetups. We're going to do about 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes at the most. We're going to have a little connection time with each other. Probably hear a testimony or two. Let some people in our church share some things God's doing in their life. And then I'll bring a short devotion and we'll be done for that particular day. And we're going to plan some fun activities. We're going to have baseball in this year. We're going to do some different kinds of fun things, and so it's going to be really good this coming summer to get this time. I believe we're going to get my boat in the water. We're going to get some other kinds of things, get out some guests and do some fun things like that. But obviously not everyone at one time. But it's a time for people to connect. And I want to just remind everyone, these things are each standalone. Sandy tries to explain that each week after the end of our service. In other words, it's not a series that you're following in where if I wasn't there the last 3 weeks, but if you come and go in and out of town, that's fine. Just come when you're there. It's a great time to connect with one another. And this kind of replaces a little bit of our life groups during the summer. And, we finished up, the women have finished up their studies, the men have finished up theirs as well. And so we'll be off for the summer for that. But the gathering on Sunday mornings at 9:30, and then our 6:30 each Wednesday for our summer meetups will be a good time for people to connect with one another. Bring a guest, bring a friend. It's fine. We're not going to, it's it'd be our normal casual self, and we'll be very welcoming if you bring someone with you. If you got some out of town guests at your home, maybe it's family, maybe it's friends, bring them along as well.
Awesome. Yeah, it is summer in the life of the church. It's such a great time. It's kind of calms down a little bit, the busyness of all the events and this and that, and the big group gatherings kind of seem to subside just a little bit, and summer becomes a great time for connection, for going deep with a few people. Maybe some folks are out of town, traveling more, kids are at school, so vacation happening. But the people who are able to make these sort of gatherings, it is such a great time to go deep with a smaller group. So we encourage everyone out there to join in on all of the opportunities to get connected. Pastor Will, anything else going on at the church that you want to make folks aware of this week?
Oh, well, we actually do. We have Father's Day coming up, right? That's going to be a big day. And we've got Charles Blanton, who is going to grill steaks.
Yeah.
And this particular event is to honor all men, and but everyone is invited. So we fully expect if there's a couple that we fully expect the women to come as well. I believe actually some of the women are maybe even help us serve that particular day. And the women are planning that. I'm not really involved in that too much, but that's the word I get. And so just plan on being with us that particular day. We are taking reservations for that, though. We're going to charge $10, but you forget your $10, we'll figure out how we're going to let you eat anyway. No, we want to just plan appropriately in terms of our grilling and purchasing the steaks, and we'll have a few extras. So if you somehow you forget, but I really encourage you to sign up. And this is an easy thing to do. Just to stay right after our service, stay a little bit longer. We'll probably get started eating maybe at 11:30. Probably take 30 minutes or so to get everything in order. But we'll do that on Father's Day. But that's a good time, and we really want to honor men. The culture does well, churches do well, families do well when men walk with God. That's just the way it is. And so we really want to honor men and lift up their role. I know culture is wants to tear us apart and beat us down. And so we really want to value the men in our church. And so we're going to do that on Father's Day.
Awesome. Well, if folks want to be praying for the church this week, how can they be praying for Island Church?
Well, this summer, as you said, Matt, it's just time to reconnect. We've got a number of people that we're trying to reconnect with or connect with and let them make other connections, because often it takes about 4, 5, 6 relationships for a person to really stick. And in the life of church, studies would show this. And so that's what we're doing. We got an event coming up actually this next Sunday on June the 2nd for some of our recent guests. We're going to have them over at a room in our apartment complex where Sandy and I live. And so we're inviting them over this Sunday, and they can pray that the people would come that have been invited to this particular event. If you've been attending and you haven't gotten an invitation, you've been attending as a fairly new person in the life of our church, then certainly let us know. We want to get that invitation to you. But I think we've got the invitations out. And so that's a thing they can pray for, because these people can connect with each other. And because they're kind of all in that little bit newer category. And we're certainly are grateful for the people. God's just brought us some remarkable people, and we're very thankful for them. And so they can pray about that as we think about this coming Sunday and this summer. Just pray with our people, get connect each other. We grow in our faith, but actually we grow when we grow best when we're connected to others who are also trying to grow in their faith. And we encourage one another, we pick one another up, and that's really how this thing works. And so that's really important.
Absolutely. Well, Pastor Will, thank you so much for sharing your heart today. Thanks for giving us updates on the life of the church. Thank you all for watching and tuning in today. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you stay up to date with all the Sunday sermons, all the gatherings, along with this weekly podcast. We'll see you back here next week.